Hello friends, today we are going to deal with the range of motion. This is our today. This is the today topic. So let's start with the content. We have definition of range of motion, purposes, type, point to remember, terminology, procedure, and last we have question. And now see the definition. In definition, you see the ROM exercise are those which help to prevent the contracture, okay, help to prevent from contracture, point stiffness by moving the all joints, patient joints throughout their complete range of motion. So in this range of motion, it prevents from the contracture. The contracture is means there is a shortness of muscle and uh, and tendon. The size and length will be decreased. And joint stiffness, there is tightness and there is a rigid joint get rigid, okay. So the range of motion prevent these contracture and joint stiffness through the complete range of motion. Now we see the purposes, okay. In purposes we have first purpose is to prevent and restore the normal movement of joint, and to prevent contracture circulation, to improve and maintain the muscle strength, okay. So it helps to improve the maintain muscle strength, okay. And to maintain or restore the coordination. When we are doing the exercise, it coordinate our body, okay. It help in the coordination. Next, there are two type of exercise. First is three types, sorry: passive, active, and active assisted. Passive exercise are those in which assistance from the patient side is not be done. So these exercises are performed on the patient by any healthcare professional and any family member and caregivers. Active exercise in which patient can do without assistant, and active assisted, the patient needs some assistant to perform the range of motion exercise. In the diagram you see, this the first diagram show the passive exercise in which any healthcare professional and family member are doing the exercise on the patient. And here you see the active exercise. Here the all group patient can do exercise by their own. And last is active assistive. The here patient can also be do exercise what he need assistant by a healthcare professional and any caregiver and family member, okay. I hope you understand these three uh, different type of exercise, okay. So in the passive exercise there is no assistance from the patient. It's important, this is important to remember, okay. And in the active, patient can do without the assistant. And active assistant, in this case he need assistant to perform the range of motions, okay. The patient can need assistant to perform the exercise. Now point to remember: in passive range of motion exercise should be done only on the patient who are unable to do their exercise. Okay, we are know this type of exercise. And passive range of motion should be done to patient with slightly resistant, okay. Yes, this is a this is also remember the point. If the patient have slightly resistant, so we can do the passive exercise. Never do range of motion to the beyond of the capacity of a patient, because it can hamper the patient and that can cause the any muscle uh, twisting, any joint twisting con condition that can produce this type of conditions. Move the body parts slowly, smoothly, and rhythmically. Yes. So the part can move slowly, smoothly, okay, smoothly and slowly and rhythmically. Okay, so remember these three words. Next, expected heart rate and respiratory rate come to their normal range within the 3 minutes. So it is obvious when we are going to perform any type of exercise, so that can cause to increase the heart rate, respiratory rate. So in the normal human being and any patient, then their heart rate and respiratory rate come to a normal range within the 3 minute. If the exercise is not be so strenuous for the patient, exercise is not be so much heavy and hard for the patient. If the muscle get sparsity, muscle get sparsity occur during the movement, skip the movements temporarily, would continue to apply slow gentle pressure on the part until the muscle get relaxed, and then proceed with the ROM exercise. So here you would see muscle spasmicity. The meaning is that when the muscle get twisted, tight and hard. Okay, in this condition we skip the exercise for a minute. Okay, so we are going to skipping the exercise movement for temporary time, and then we continue the exercise by applying a gentle pressure, until the muscle are not relaxed. Okay, so gentle pressure applying on the muscle until the muscle not come in their relaxed condition. So then and after that we are going to proceed the ROM exercise. Okay, so this is all. Now we have see the some terminology. There are different terms that defines the movements of joints. So first we have a flexion. Flexion is the action of bending, especially the bending of limb or joint. So in the flexion, the angle between the joint and limb get decreased. An extension is a movement in which joint is in a straight position. Hyperextension, the forceful extension of joint beyond their normal limit. And adduction is the movement of any part of the body to the to the to the to the midpoint of the body. Okay, and abduction is a movement of part from away from the midline. You understand adduction and abduction. Adduction is the movement of part towards the midline, and adduction is the movement of part away from the midline. Midline means that is separate the body into two equal parts. Circumduction is the circular motion of the joint and limbs. Supine, turning the joint in upward direction, and prone means the turning the joint in downward direction. External rotation is the rotation away from the body. Rotation is away from the body, and internal is the rotation in which the body can rotate toward the center. Dorsiflexion is the backward bending and contraction of your foot and hand. Okay, when you are supposed to move your head backward, that is known as dorsiflexion, and plantar flexion, that is movement of a movement in which the top of your foot point away from your leg. Okay, so this is the plantar flexion. Inversion is the movement of the uh, any part that is tilted, like in the sole, that tilted the sole of the foot to the inverter the midline. And in the hand, when you are are move your hand and move your hand toward the center line. Okay. So eversion is the condition in which movement of sole of foot away from your midline. These all terminology we are going to discuss in upcoming slides. Don't be confused with inversion exversion. Now we are going to perform the procedure on the patient. So in the procedure we are see some nursing action and with their rationale. So first our nursing action is the explain the procedure to the patient for their better cooperation. Remove the ring and other constructive jewelry if he wear. Okay, because the in case of hand swelling any this the, this can cause the impaired circulation. And remove all tight fitting clothes and provide a hospital gown, because in tight fitting gown can cause the um, can cause impaired blood circulation. The blood cannot be reached to the vital organ. So tight fitting cloth can are be removed and provide a hospital gown to ensure comfort of the patient. Provide a privacy and hand wash to reduce their anxiety. For reducing the anxiety we are going to provide privacy, like in a hospital we are going to provide screening screen. Okay, there is a different color of screen, green, blue, like screen, to, to reduce patient anxiety. And wash the hand to reduce transmission of infection. Next is the expose only the area that is being be exercised. Yes, this is a very important, because if we are going to expose the other area, that can lead to embarrassment of the patient. So reduction of the embarrassment, we are only expose that area where we are going to perform exercise. Position the bed on the appropriate height to reduce the body mechanism. If if the bed is height is not be in the level of your wrist, that can cause a back pain. Okay, so you also are going to hamper during the exercise. So you conscious about that, the body mechanism. Okay, wash the hand to prevent the cross infection. Record and record a procedure is very important, because it goes as a legal documentation. It can prevent you from any type of medical legal action. Position the patient in a comfortable side to ensure their comfort. Okay, next we have gone to the movements in different joints. First we have a neck movement. So okay, we are going to see the neck flexion is bring the chin to rest on the chest. Here you see the chin is rested on the chest. Okay, so in this in the flexion the angle is decreased. Okay. And in extension look straight and ahead. So in the that condition the patient can look straight, the neck is straight, is known as extension. In a hyperextension, patient neck goes as far as possible. This is a hyperextension. And lateral flexion, in which the patient can in the normal, in the previous the neck is like that, and lateral rotation the neck is goes to lateral side, and you see the angle will be decreased. This is the lateral flexion. Can we go into the that direction? Here the also there is decrease in the angle. Okay, and rotation, the movement of neck in rotatory direction. In that also in that my pen are not going to do proper work because I'm use mouse. Okay, so you are understand what is the rotation, what is the lateral flexion, what is the hyperextension, extension and flexion. Okay, so these clear with are you clear with these terms? I hope I clear your these terms: flexion, hyperextension, rotation, lateral flexion. Okay, Next, we have a shoulder joint. So same as the neck joint, there is a flexion. Okay, flexion is rise the arm forward and over your head. Okay, don't confuse. We have some diagram in the next slide. We see with the diagram. And extension is same. Return your arm to the side of body. Hyperextension is the movement arm behind your body. Keep elbow as far as possible. Abduction is the raise your arm side as to possible above your head and palm away from your head. And adduction is return to arm bring across your chest. Abduction means away from the body, adduction means toward the body. Internal rotation, elbow flexed. We are going to elbow are going to flex. Rotate this shoulder, moving the arm with tilted thumb and turn internal and back toward the back. So we have diagram. Okay. Uh, in the external rotation, we are flex the same, or we are going to flex. Move the arm until the thumb in upward. Here the thumb are going to upward and lateral to head. Lateral to head. Okay. So lateral to head. And here the thumb tilted thumb turn inward, inside, toward the inside and toward the back. I hope you understand. The inverted side thumb is going to inner side, and here the thumb is going upward side, toward the upward side. And circumduction is the movement of arm in circular motion. Now we see the diagram. Here you see this is the hyperextension. Always go back as far as possible. This is the flexion. Okay, arm are raised, going to be raised. And when arm are come to their normal as state, as the body align and go to upward. I hope you understand. This downward is known as extension, and this is the abduction away from the body, and this is the adduction toward the body. Internal rotation, there the shoulder muscles are rotate inner side. So inner side we are see that the thumb is toward the inner side. The thumb in the direction, the hand is in the prone position. Okay, and thumb is toward the inner side, and in the external rotation the shoulder is moved toward the outer side, and the thumb is in the upward direction and the lateral to the head. So the thumb, like here it is a external rotation. It's showing external because the thumb are in the upward direction and lateral to the head. And this is the circumduction. The shoulder is moved in the circular motion. Okay. Now we see the movement joint in the elbow. Okay. So in the elbow, first flexion, extension, prone and supine. This is the flexion, where you see the angle will be decreased. The elbow are bent and hand come to the head, near to the head. And extension, the hand can go to the their straight position, like in straight position. This is known as extension. And prone, in the turn lower arm, so the uh, palm is downward. So this is the uh, Prawn position, the palm is downward. This is spine position, palm in upward direction. Wrist movement. So flexion is same as the that decrease the angle, the bend of the wrist. So this is the arm. Here your hand. Originally it is in a straight, and when you are going to bend the hand, okay, so there is a decrease in angle. So it is known as flexion. In hyperextension, when you are extend your hand, so there is a move your hand backward, known as hyperextension. Sorry, extension. And when you are your hand are going to as far as possible. So your hand is now here. This is known as hyperextension. Okay. Radial deviation. So in our hand there are two artery. One is radial and another is the ulnar, and here we have two bones, okay, in radial and ulnar. So the radial are toward the thumb side and ulnar to the last finger, our little finger. The, I think this will be shown. This is the ulnar one, and this is the radial. So the in a radial deviation, the hand is deviated from the radial side. Okay, I'm sure with the pen. So originally this is the radial. The hand is in the a state condition, like that in a state. But when the hand is going to that side, deviate from the ulnar, it is known as ulnar deviation. When the sorry radial deviation, when the hand is in a straight direction, and this is the ulnar side. Okay, this is the ulnar side, and hand is going to deviate at that side away from the ulnar side. It is known as ulnar deviation. I hope you understand both the terms. Deviation from their bones. Next is the movement of finger and thumb. Here also flexion is the bending of your finger and thumb, like that. Where we see, here there is a bending. So like this, the finger thumb are going to bend, finger are also going to bend toward the inner side, like that. Okay, this is one known as flexion, and extension is the straight finger and thumb. Okay, now thumb are going to in a straight position, like that. It is known as extension. Okay, and hyperextension, bend finger as far as possible. So in applying a little pressure, the finger and thumb are going to backward as far as possible, is known as hyperextension. And abduction is the movement of a finger away from the body. So abduction is the, here you see the thumb is going uh, extend laterally. Okay, laterally. This is known as abduction. The finger are going to away. Okay, finger are going to be away. And adduction, the joint, the finger are coming to join each other. Okay, here the thumb are attached with the hand. And opposition touch thumb to each finger, touch thumb with each finger is known as opposition of same hand, not with other hand. We are going to touch the thumb with one hand to the finger of the other hand. No, this is not opposition. Opposition touch the thumb to each finger of same hand. And circumduction is occur only the thumb, and maybe in a finger, but it is more in the thumb, circulation of the joints. Now we see the hip joints. So first we have flexion. Move the leg forward and upward. Move the leg forward and upward. Extension, move the leg backward beside your other leg. Abduction, move the leg laterally away from the body. Adduction toward the body, toward the possible as the movement of the midline. Internal rotation, turn foot and leg toward the toward other other leg. Internal rotation is this. External, move the foot and leg away from the other leg. Circumduction, move hip in circular motion. See the diagram. So it is a flexion. Okay. This is the abduction toward the adduction toward the midline, and this is the midline. Move to the midline. There is the lateral rotation. Move the leg toward the lateral side, and this is the flexion. Move the leg as far as possible, and this is the abduction. This is our midline, center of line. Move the leg away from the center of line. This is the middle rotation. So the leg goes to the midline toward the rotate. Little is the rotator toward the midline. Like here you see the here. This is our body. I will show you the diagram. Make us some not good in the drawing, especially on the computer. So sorry, this is a person. You see, okay. They are the arms. What is the leg? Okay. So this is the middle line. Okay, this is the middle center line, and these are the lateral side of the person. So when we are discuss the lateral rotation, the leg are rotated toward the lateral side of the body, and when we are going to see the middle rotation, the leg is rotated toward the middle side. Okay, understood? Now we see the joints movement in knee. So first we have flexion and extension. Flexion is bring heel back toward the thigh. So here flexion, that your heel, that is this is going to toward the one second, this is not a okay. Yeah. So your heel why not showing the diagram? Okay, no problem. So your this I don't know why this is not going to show. Okay, so this is your heel that is going toward the thigh part, toward the thigh part. So your heel is going to the thigh side is known as flexion, and when your in extension, return the leg to the floor. So in extension, we are going to align the leg in that condition. Align the leg in a state is known as flexion. Now we see the joint movement in the foot and ankle. So in the foot and ankle, you will see uh, plantar flexion. Inward flexion is the decrease in angle, and plantar flexion, that is this is the plantar flexion. Originally foot are in state, and then when we are going to bend the foot in this is known as condition is known as plantar flexion. We have to decrease the angle. Dorsal flexion, this is the dorsal part of the foot, and this is the plantar part of the foot. So the dorsal flexion, and when the foot is going to upward and decrease the angle, this is the upward and decrease the angle. Inversion, the foot is moved inner side. Exversion, when the foot is moved to the lateral side, is known as exversion. And circulation, circumduction, when the foot is in rotatory motion. Okay, I hope you understand these terms. Now we see the toe joint movements. So in the toe, first we see the flexion. The toe is going to flexed. The toe is curled. Okay, and extension, straight toe. Toe is straight, and abduction, finger are opens, like same as the in the hand. Abduction, finger are coming closer. Okay, it is a relaxed position. Yes, and we are in relaxed condition. Our finger are close to each other. We have some question. An appropriate technique for the nurse to use when range of motion exercise is due. First, continue the exercise beyond the point of resistance. Support the proximal portion of extremity beyond being exercised, and promote the exercise quickly and firmly, and repeat each action 10 times during the exercise. So first you comment the answer, then you say. This is V option. Apply a sport on a portion uh, that is being exercised on the proximal side. Next, decreasing angle between the bone is known as extension, hyperextension, flexion, abduction. So write the answer, then C. Okay, right. So the right option is this C. Now Now we are going to see the third question. Active assistive range of motion is performed when a person move each joint from a patient who is not able to exercise. Okay, so a person can move joints of a patient who is not able to exercise. This exercise known as active assistive range of motion? It is a true or not? So tell me. So the right answer is the V option. So it is not a true, because active assistive range of motion are done in those patients who are slightly able to do their exercise. He needs some amount of assistance. Okay. Next. Thank you. If you have any doubt, any query of related to this topic, range of motion, you comment in the comment section. I definitely answer your questions. And once you read in your book, if anything is extra you find and you are not able to understand, write in the book in the comment. I going to read your comments and answer. Thank you for watching my video. Keep watching. I made this video for basic first year, and that is helpful for you in this lockdown period. So thank you. I hope you understand very well.